be on when we start. We have to start. Hello. Welcome, everyone. We're going to wait for a couple people to hop on. But we're so excited to get started tonight and talk to you about loving yourself. So we are here with Team Chic, some of the coaches on Team Chic, and we're just going to wait for a couple more people to hop on before we start blabbing away, including some more of our Team Chic speakers. How many of you have...
My internet is so slow.
Right. You guys know how to mute yourselves?
You do it at the top.
Yeah, do it at the top. If you might know if there's background noise.
Okay, yeah, I think that was Maria.
I have 3 viewers, so that's 4 viewers. This is exciting.
Maria, do you know how to mute yourself?
There's Brooke. How many of you?
Yeah, I'm just doing it right now. Some issues.
Yeah, my kids just started school today, so it's a crazy day. But okay, well, we've got some people on, so we're going to get started, and I'm so excited. I'm here with some of the other coaches on Team Chic, and we are going to talk to you about loving yourself, and we're going to share our top 10 tips. Each of us is taking a tip to share. And so I wanted to first start off by explaining our Chic mission, because Chic, I am an acronym nerd. I love acronyms. So Chic has its own acronym. That's why we're called Team Chic. And the acronym is Community Helping Increase or Inspire Confidence. And the reason I chose each of those words means something to me. Like, I just think that when you are part of a community, you feel a sense of belonging and love, and you are able to help each other and uplift each other. And then helping, serving others is one way to kind of forget yourself and help others, and that's one way to be happy and increase your confidence. And then inspiring, doing things that inspire others. That I just love that word. And then, of course, confidence. That's kind of my mission. I felt that for many, many years, that one of my missions in life is to help other women feel confident. And I'm just going to share real quick why, because I have, for years, I've mentored like photographers, and now I mentor coaches. And I've noticed that women who, that a lot of women would come to me and say that they just didn't have the confidence to move their business forward. And I started noticing a pattern that many, many women had that struggle. And so it became one of my missions to help women feel more confident, because I believe that when we as women and as mothers, when we feel good about ourselves, we can do good. So that's kind of my purpose in tonight's webinar. So we really hope to help you love yourself a little bit more with some of these top 10 tips. So we are not going to waste your time. We're going to start with our first tip, and I'm going to turn the time over to Joelle to share that with you right now. And you guys, we're going to keep this under an hour, and we're going to be short and sweet because we know you are busy people. So just hang in there with us. All right, Joelle.
All right. Hey, guys. I'm really glad, Kelly, that you shared that acronym about our team, because it fits right into what the first tip is, and that is do one thing every day that makes you happy. And I know that this is a big thing, especially for moms. We tend to neglect ourselves because we're so focused on making sure that our children's needs are taken care of and making sure that they're happy and having fun and enjoying life. And so we often get pushed down on, those ladders. So a few things that I've been trying to implement in my life to make myself happy every single day is, number one, making disengagement a habit or a routine. So when my husband comes home from work, I give myself a half hour to myself. I step away from them. Dinner's cooked, they're eating dinner. I step away for a little bit. So in that half an hour, I can either, do my workout, get in exercise. That's a great way to build happiness. You're creating endorphins. Find a hobby, put those Pinterest boards to use. If you like to pin a bunch of do-it-yourself projects, start one. Read a good book. Take a class. Help others, like Kelly was saying. That's a huge way to gain happiness and to feel happiness and learn something new. Those are a few things that I've been trying to do that I've noticed have been really helping me. So tip number one, I guess, to building confidence is to build yourself up and do one thing every single day that's going to make you happy. Not everyone else, but you. So take that tip, write it down, and I don't know who I'm passing it on to next, but I'm really excited to hear about the other things that we have in store. All right, who's next?
I'm just going to comment on that really quick because that is something that I think a lot of women, we put ourselves on the back burner. And I noticed with me that I kind of felt, and feel free, ladies, to, jump in if you have something that you feel is really important to add. But that was something that I noticed was I have 4 kids, and I noticed that I would give and give to everyone else, and by the end of the day, I felt like there was nothing left for me, and I started to sort of be bitter about my life, and even sometimes be like resentful of my kids or my husband because I felt like I was just pouring from this empty cup, And so I noticed that when I just take time, even if it's like today I just took like a 20-minute nap. I don't even think I napped. I just laid down. But stuff like that just kind of fills my cup, and then I feel like, okay, I'm a human being. I'm a person here, and I can like take care of me. So I have noticed that when I don't do that, I'm like I'm a grumpier person, and I'm like more resentful. So I think that's huge, Joelle, just taking time every single day. And maybe you have to wake up early, or maybe you'll have to stay up later and like catch up on The Bachelor in Paradise or whatever that makes you feel like, hey, I'm Kelly. I'm not a mom. I'm not a wife. I'm not, an employee. I am me. So thank you, Joelle.
Can I just share one more thing really, really quick?
Yeah.
You just said like either wake up early or stay up later. If anyone watching this hasn't read The Miracle Morning yet, give that book a good reading and keep it with you because that's what it talks about, waking up early and getting the most out of your day. So that's something else that I've implemented that I've seen a huge change in myself from. And when your cup isn't full, especially for moms, your kids notice and they feed off of that energy too. So take care of yourself first.
Yes, that is an awesome book. I highly recommend it for all women. Okay, so we're going to turn the time over to Maria. Maria, can you unmute yourself and share your tip?
Sure. So, hi everyone, my name is Maria, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about self-talk and words of affirmation. So, when I was preparing to talk about this, I actually was having some difficulty putting some words together about what words of affirmation were. And really what I came down to is really having that belief that you are what you say you are. So in all lessons, having either positive thoughts or negative thoughts will influence the way that you view yourself, will influence the interactions that you have with those around you. Words of affirmation has become huge for me in the past month, to be honest. As I was younger, I always struggled with confidence. I struggled with viewing myself in a positive light and really understanding, I guess, what my potential was. But through different things that I've done this past year and a half, I've been able to change my perspective, and more so this year. So or what I did is I developed this list of words of affirmation or positive self-talk. What it is a list of 10 things that are important to me. And they're about who I want to be, who I want to be as a person, who I want to be as a mom, who I want to be as a wife, and as a friend. And what I do is actually every day I wake up early in the morning. So I tend to wake up between 5 and 6. I have some moments to quiet my pull out my phone. So I do have my phone and I have my list right down on there, and I go through my list and I read them out loud so I can essentially hear it. It's not just a thought. There's a power in seeing something written, and there's a power in saying that thing. So for instance, for myself, some of the things that I have is one of my words of affirmation is that I strive to be of value. I strive to be patient. I strive to be a good mom, to be humble, to know that success is possible, and to work hard. And these things I say to myself every morning, myself up to have a better day. They have sort of drawn that positive self within me. They have drawn that potential to know that I am able to do it, that I am able to fulfill this insane amount of potential that we all have. It's just sometimes that we have to dig a little deeper and find what it is that we want to do. It's crazy because I do have to say that I have noticed a change in my confidence. I have noticed a change that these words have affected the way that I view myself, the way that I interact with others. And to tell you the truth, they're very handy because I do have them in my phone. Sometimes when I do have a bad day, I pull them out, I read them out to me, I recenter my thoughts, and then I go back about my day because you know what? Those bad circumstances or whatever is going on is not going to define the person who I am. It's not going to define my worth, and definitely it's not going to define my confidence in myself. So what I strongly recommend is that, you could do a quick Google search and search words of affirmation, sort of develop a list that works for you, that's specific to you, or if you want, really think about what it is that you want in your life, what you envision yourself on being, what kind of things you want to attract to yourself, and then develop that list. And every morning before you start your day, say it out loud. Seeing it written and saying it with your own voice will create those positive endorphins, will sort of give you that energy to know that you are worth it and you can do it. So I just wanted to share my quick tip about that. And Kelly, back to you.
Thank you, Maria. That was so awesome. I love that you have your list, you refer to it often, you say it every day. And I think it really, saying words out loud is a powerful thing, And one tip I have is I have one of my affirmations on my phone. Let's see if you guys can see this, if I can, I don't know if it's gonna, nope. I'm trying to, okay, well, anyway, there you can kind of see it. You can see the words if I turn it a little bit. But anyway, it just says, I will abundantly place other people's interests first. That's something that I want to, focus on being more selfless. And so that's on my phone as a reminder, as one of my affirmations. So you could do anything like that. It could be something about, like she was saying, about being a good mom, about, some of your goals or whatever. But I think having it on your wallpaper, you could make it your computer, screensaver, just as reminders. You could put Post-it notes. You can write, I have an affirmation on my mirror in lipstick. So things like that is just going to help you, focus on that positive self-talk. So thank you, Maria. That was awesome. And I've noticed Maria seems to have, she seems to be glowing and have more self-esteem as well. All right, so let's have Megan. Megan, will you share one of your tips for loving yourself?
Yes. My top tip for loving yourself definitely has to be exercise. I know that before I made that an actual part of my daily routine, I didn't feel good and was blah all the time, and there was a lack of energy, and my number one excuse was always, oh, I can't do that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for me. I don't have time to put me first because I'm too busy raising kids, or I'm too busy you know, with work and I come home and I'm tired. So here's some tips for exercise. All right, so you need to set aside that time. And, you know, obviously you're going to make it work for you and your family and your schedule. But I personally feel like the best time to do it is in the mornings. And it's already been mentioned, but I'm going to plug it again. The Miracle Morning. And part of a Miracle Morning is exercise. So if you have not read the Miracle Morning, you need to do so. And so you're going to set that time aside to make that exercise and that workout happen. Whether, you know, you're someone who can handle a workout video that's more intense, or you're someone who just needs to go outside and make walking part of your routine. You need to just make some form of exercise happen and put yourself first. Okay, and then once you start that and you get into that routine, stay committed. Don't be a total flake. Like, you know, do your workout and make it at least 4, 5, 6 days a week. You know, I work out 5 or 6 days a week, and I normally take off on Sundays. And so, I mean, once you get into that good routine, your body is going to like truly want to work out. So, because it's going to make you feel good and those endorphins are going and you're going to love the results you're getting. So if you stay committed, that's going to lead you right into getting those results. And who doesn't love to look in the mirror and feel better about the way they look, to feel better about the way they fit into those jeans, to be able to drag out those jeans that have been hanging in the closet for like 5 years because you've been mortified to even try to squeeze your thighs into it. So yes, if you're going to stay committed to a workout program or some exercise routine, you know, that is going to get you results. So it's commitment, all right? So commit to loving yourself and making 30 minutes a day, you know, part of your routine. I know that when I first started, I was like kind of discouraged because I wasn't getting instant results. And I think that's part of our issue in our society is we want everything to be immediate and fast. So just remember that even though you just started something or maybe you're not getting instantaneous results, that you are still setting aside that time for you. And it's going to give you more clarity. It's going to make you feel better overall. And if you do it in the morning, you're going to get this like power surge to like be so productive for the rest of your day. So I hope that you'll take that tip and exercise and, you know, fall in love with your body again, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to fall in love with yourself again. You're going to gain a new sense of self-confidence just from exercise. And I don't know how to emphasize it anymore. I mean, I could sit here and talk all day about the perks of exercise, but the main thing is to just feel good in your skin again. Whether you're 120 pounds or 160, 200 pounds, you know, just to work out and feel good, and that's just a number. That doesn't define who you are, and, you know, don't reflect so much on that, but focus on feeling good and making exercise a priority in your routine. Okay? What do you think, Kelly?
Amen, girlfriend. I just posted cute now it's I just posted maybe mute yourself, or maybe I need mute yourself for 1 second, Megan. Okay, yes. Then you can unmute yourself if you want to add anything. But I just posted a quote that said, work out because you love your body, not because you hate it. And, you know, I've noticed that when I work out that I do love my body more, and I'm like, hey, like I look good, even if I probably look exactly the same as if I didn't, you know what I mean? But I always feel better about myself. It's very interesting. Like, I think because you have made an effort towards your body and your health, you just feel better in general. And then of course there's the endorphins, and I've noticed, like I always say this, but I work out for sanity, not vanity. It makes me a more patient mom. Like I'm so much more chill when I get out all my inner aggression and like intensity in my workout. So there's just so many benefits. And on that note, I want to mention just like the importance of listening to your body and paying attention to your body, like not even regarding exercise, but also like when you're hangry, right? When you're hungry, like pay attention that, oh, maybe I'm yelling at my kids because I need food. Or maybe it's because I only got 5 hours of sleep last night and I should probably go to bed sooner. Or, or maybe it's because it's that time of the month and I need to like pay attention to those dates. So really listening to your body is going to help you love yourself and recognize those patterns of like, oh, like I just had a meltdown like last week. I called my sister, I'm bawling, I'm saying like I'm a horrible mom, I yell at my kids, all this stuff. And then of course it was that time of the month, and the next day I text her and I'm like, yeah, turns out that's why I had the meltdown. So things like that just help you recognize like, oh, hey, I'm not crazy, I'm just hungry, tired, whatever. Okay, so is Heidi still on or did she hop off? She hopped off for a second. Let's have Brooke. I want to hear your thoughts. Brooke's going to talk to us about faking it till you make it.
Hi. So yeah, my tip is on faking it till you make it. I think it's a saying that we've all commonly heard, but maybe we haven't thought of it in terms of our self-confidence. It's something that that by like if you don't have self-confidence but you want to achieve feeling confident and loving yourself, then part of that is stepping up to that part and trying to fill those shoes and walking up tall, talking to yourself respectfully, and creating those positive self-talk like they mentioned earlier, and dressing confident and just having that self-respect. And for me, eventually faking it brings that confidence, and it's true, sincere confidence and love for myself, and I'm able to share that then with others and help them to be able to have self-confidence and be able to maybe fake it until they also feel like they are achieving it. One thing that I really had to do was with my body image. After having 3 kids, I really struggled with just confidence in my body, regardless of my weight or if I was exercising or not, and loving my body. And I just looked in the mirror one day and I said, I have to stop talking bad about myself, and I just have to start talking positive about my body and saying I love my body and I'm working out because I love my body, not because I hate my body, like mentioned before. And it was only a matter of a couple weeks of pretending to love myself that I found myself all of a sudden really loving who I was and having that confidence. And so many people started mentioning to me how they had just noticed how much my confidence had grown over the couple weeks. So it really does work. Yeah. Kelly.
Yeah, Brooke has lost 40, how many is it, 45 pounds?
Yeah.
It's so amazing. Like your journey is so amazing. And I am a huge believer in faking it till you make it. Like that was my motto when I was a teenager, and I've been doing it ever since. So it's really about like sometimes I think as women we want to have all the perfect answers. We want to know it all before we do it. Because we don't want to do something and fail. But I'm all about failing forward. I'm all about sort of just like jumping into the actions of things, and you'll figure it out on the way, you know. And so that's kind of been something that I've done my whole life is just fake it till you make it. Like, I don't know what the crap I'm doing. Like Google, I don't know how to do a Google Hangout, but here we are. You know, so we just fake it. And then you learn that way. You learn so much more than just trying to, like, gathering info and never doing anything. It's really about the doing and taking action that you get results like you have, Brooke. So I couldn't agree more with you. Okay, Heidi, your turn, girlfriend. Oh, you gotta unmute yourself. There we go. Uh-oh. Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I was just going to take a second to talk about personal development and how that can help you and with confidence. I just feel like there's so much negativity just in general with TV and the radio, even stuff that I like used to think was positive. Sometimes I'll turn on now and realize, like, okay, that isn't exactly the message I thought that was sending me. And so I just feel like in order to combat that, you need personal development. It's just something that everybody, I feel like, should do. It's kind of life-changing. I grew up in a family of women who seriously just have, I love my family, but there's just a whole lot of shaming and self-hate that we have all been trying to work on, and I feel like I wouldn't be able to combat any of that if I hadn't started reading about just all sorts of things that have kind of helped me to learn about myself and to learn about other people around me. And I just feel like you need those tools to not only like help you realize what you do like about yourself, but also to help you get out of that frustrated state and work on the things that you know you need to work on, but that you just don't know how to. And that will help you become a better person. One of the books I was reading recently by Brene Brown was just talking about like gender roles and how sometimes we just get stuck in like, this is the way I'm supposed to be and this is the way they're supposed to be. And that was just like really big for me to realize, like, okay, it's okay that like I only have one kid, and for me sometimes that's really hard because he's 9 and my sister has 4 and we're not that different in age, and so it just kind of seems like a frustrating thing sometimes. But just to like realize, okay, this is just my role, and it's okay that our stories are different, and that doesn't make me a bad person or a bad mom. That's just my story. And just kind of working through those things with the tools that personal development has given me has been life-changing for me.
Amen. And I love what you said, or I love that you mentioned like how, you know, sometimes even your family can affect you in, you know, negative ways. Like, I have heard this over and over that you are basically the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself. So you have to be careful, like, who you surround yourself, and that's where personal development comes in, because, you know, you can't choose your family, right? But you can choose the mentors you have in your life, and those mentors can be the books you read or listen to. I know, I can't remember who it was because I've read I read so many personal development books, but in one of them, I think it was Darren Hardy, he is awesome, by the way. His books are amazing, and he actually does daily texts that you can get, by the way, which I'm trying to think how I can, if any of you guys can look up how to subscribe to Darren Daily while I'm talking, that would be great, because then we can share with everyone. But he basically said to make your car like a university, so that you are learning every day when you're driving, because, you know, we all drive all over the place as busy moms and women. you know, running errands, carpooling, taking kids to lessons, like whatever. And so that's what I do when I'm in the car. I listen to personal development, and it's been awesome. Like I look forward to my long drives and things like that because I surround myself with positivity, and I can replace, you know, I want you to think of negative thoughts like weeds, and to replace them with flowers, you know, with those positive thoughts and those positive words that you can get from personal development. And I would love for you guys to each share in just a second your favorite personal development book. I want to hear from you guys because I'm sure some of our viewers would love to know. But I wanted to give you a couple tips. You know, one tip is that when negative thoughts come through your mind, I want you to think of it, because I'm such a visual person as a photographer, I want you to think of it like a bird flying through your head, okay? And you can either choose to let that bird build a nest and stay there, or you can let that bird just fly on by. And when you let it build a nest and it stays there, and you start it starts festering, and it gets worse. And so when you have those negative thoughts, you have to kind of be like Katniss on the Hunger Games. I remember her saying in the movie, she says, I can't afford to think like that. Like, she could not think that she was going to lose because she wanted to save her sister. And, you know, we as women, we influence so many people in our lives. We can't afford to think those negative thoughts and let them get us down. And it happens to all of us, you know, where we're like, oh, like we compare ourselves to others, or we just get down on ourselves because I think we're our worst critics, right? But you can't let those thoughts stay. So it's like we've got to replace them. And I've caught myself getting better. You know, I think that there's some things we like to sort of torture ourselves on. For me, mine is just like, oh, you know, I'm not a good mom. Like, oh, that's like one of my challenges is feeling adequate as a mother. And I've caught myself like a couple weeks ago going there where I'm like, oh, I'm just not a good mom, and I was like, no, you are a good mom. Like, I just caught myself like, no, we are not going there because you're doing your best. And so you have to be like your own best cheerleader. And again, listen to those personal development books helps so much, because there are some days where you're like, and if you don't have that, if you don't have that mental strength to be your own cheerleader, then you can listen to someone else. Like, You Are a Badass is an amazing personal development book. Beware of swear words, but it is amazing. So I want you guys to really quick unmute yourselves and just say, like, one of your favorite personal development books that was kind of life-changing for you.
I'll go first.
Okay.
One of mine was, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. It's The Go-Giver. I don't remember who it's by, but it's a really quick read. And I actually got it on Audible, so I listened to it when I was running quite a bit. So yeah, just check that book out. It's all about serving others and how that can fill your cup too. I learned a lot from that book, and it really inspired me. It's The Go-Giver.
Thank you. That's one of my top 5. Loved it. Okay, who else? Heidi.
One that I just read like probably like a week or two ago was Rising Strong, and I just really liked it because it talks about like rewriting your stories in your head, because so often like our perception of what happened or what is happening to us is different than how it actually is or could be. And I just really liked reworking through some of the ways that I've thought about things with that book, and it just changed a lot of my perspective.
Awesome. Thanks. I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to check it out. Megan, what about you?
Okay, so I got 2. You're just going to have to deal. I read is it I Am That Girl? Is it I Am That Girl? Yeah, okay, because it's hashtag Be That Girl, and so I wanted to say Be That Girl, but I Am That Girl, and then right after I finished that, I read Girl Code. So it all kind of meshed together. So I might get something a little mixed up when I say this, but as women, you know, we've got struggles that a lot of men just don't deal with, and things go on in our heads that don't happen in men's heads. And I feel like, as far as personal development for a woman, those two books were so spot on. And especially if you're a female entrepreneur, Girl Code, really, for sure. But I Am That Girl would apply to any woman. And I just, oh my word, so good. I know Joelle and Kelly both, and I think maybe Maria, read I Am That Girl, and we read it together as a team. And I'm just here to tell you, it's so uplifting. It just, you know, it recognizes, hey, you're not the only girl out there who feels like that. You know, other women feel like this too, and it just brings that to the forefront and tells you how to work on stuff. And I felt like I was having a conversation with her when I read that book, and I thought it was so spot on. So I Am That Girl.
Yes, and girl, I just finished Girl Code, and I was like, yeah, it was awesome. It was such a, and you're right, it totally talked about a lot of issues that women deal with. So those are great recommendations. Okay, Maria, we're gonna take all the good ones.
That's okay, because right now I'm reading the 10X Rule, and I have to say that that is one of my favorite books. It has propelled me forward like no tomorrow. And one of the things that I really enjoy about it is the fact that it talks about failure. It talks about failing forward. It talks about success, and really, it really has helped me conceptualize success and understanding that, you know what, success can happen for everyone. It's not about comparing ourselves to anyone, but rather it's about being our best version of ourselves, being the best we can be, and moving forward. I just want to share a quick quote, and I kind of made it my mantra for the remainder of the year, and it's from the 10X Rule. So whenever I am feeling kind of blah, I do tend to read this. I'm going to read this out to you guys. And I changed the word you into I to make it personal. I have it on here, and it says, I doubtlessly have gifts I have yet to use, potential that remains untapped. I've been endowed with that desire for greatness. I'm aware enough to know that there are no shortage of success. I will increase my responsibility level, assume control over everything that happens to me, and live by the slogan because of me. So I love that. I tend to read it all the time. I tend to have it in the forefront of my mind, and I tend to know that I am accountable for all my actions, and I can make it happen regardless of what I'm working on. So that right now is my favorite book.
Yes, that one's also in my top 5. It's like so empowering, and you have to listen to the audio because he is like incredibly passionate and motivating. So you're just like the whole time you listen, you're like, yeah, like I can do this. And he's all about, I like that he's all about being accountable to, you know, he like kind of tells you, you know, you are in control of your life, and you are, you know, you're responsible for your success. But then he gives like a ton of tips on how to be successful. So that book is mind-blowing. Okay, Brooke, did you share one?
No. My favorite currently would be The Compound Effect. I just finished that one last week, and that book has been the most life-changing of any personal development book I've read. But I do agree. I'm reading the 10X Rule right now, and that one already, it's right up there next to it. So those are some amazing ones that I would recommend to anyone, like even if they aren't working a business, or if they just want to find success in their personal life, in their relationships, and anything, The Compound Effect will get you there.
Yes, that one's awesome. And that's by Darren Hardy. And I think you go to darrendaily.com to sign up for his texts, and that way you'll get his daily texts that have like 3-minute motivational videos. They're amazing. So and with that, I'm going to turn it. We have one more speaker tonight, and that is Alexia. So I'm going to turn the time over to her, and then we'll wrap things up. So Alexia, take it away, girlfriend. Just unmute yourself. Or I'll unmute if I can figure out. Try now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, sorry. All right, so I am talking tonight about you're having personal strengths. And I recently, when I hit a certain point in my business, as a gift, I was given a like a free. I was able to watch this interview, and it was with a man named Marcus Buckingham, and he's an author. And I absolutely was the interview was like life changing for me because the whole interview was on understanding and utilizing your strengths. But to start the interview out, he talked about strengths in a different way than most of us think of them. I don't know about you guys, but for me, a strength originally, my idea of a strength is something I'm good at. But the problem with that is I don't always enjoy the things that I'm good at. I don't know. Do any of you feel that way? I get that way sometimes. I may be really, really good at something, but it doesn't necessarily I don't necessarily enjoy it, or it doesn't leave me feeling absolutely fulfilled. I, of course, always love it when people compliment me on something I'm good at. So that part's nice. But in listening to this interview, he talked about and defined strengths in a completely different way. He said a strength isn't necessarily something you're good at. A strength leaves you energized. It's something that when you are done, you want to do it over and over and over again because you felt so amazing after that. And I love that definition because there are things that I am not necessarily good at, but I still feel awesome afterwards. And those are the things that I want to push myself towards, and they're opportunities for growth. So on the same token, he talks about weaknesses, and he says our society focuses so much on weaknesses and what we are bad at. And when you take that definition of a strength being something that leaves you energized, he says, a weakness is technically something that leaves you feeling drained. And if it leaves you feeling drained, even if you're good at it, is it something that you really want as part of your life? And so since I have listened to this interview, I have thought about and paid special attention to the things in my life that leave me feeling absolutely amazing. And I have been really, really surprised. Like, I have come to understand and realize I may not necessarily be awesome at it, but one of my strengths or things that I'm working on is I love talking. I mean, I love talking anyway, but but I love talking to people. Like, I am a self-proclaimed introvert. I especially love talking. I love teaching, not necessarily little kids. I used to be a kindergarten teacher. But I love teaching people. I get excited about knowledge. I get excited about the things that I learn, and I love sharing that with people. I love motivating people. But in years past, I would have called that a weakness of mine because I also get really intimidated by people. And so one of the things I have just really, it's empowered me as a person, is taking opportunities and paying attention to the things that I do throughout my life and realizing, okay, this may not be a strength as the world might see it. I might not be really, really good at it, but I want to get good at it because I feel amazing when I do it. And those weaknesses, I have come to pay attention to the things that I may be good at, but leave me feeling drained. Just as an example, we actually have a lot of photographers on this call tonight, and that's what I have done for the last probably 9 years. I've run my own photography studio, and I still get people who call me daily and are like, hey, are you still photographing? We really like your style, especially in my particular area. I focused on high school seniors, and I was one of the people that the seniors in the area went to. And it feels really great when people compliment me, and it almost gives me that tinge of, wow, maybe I should go back to it. But I spent the last year almost depressed because my business drained me so bad. So I was good at it, but it wasn't a strength of mine, and I realized it was something that I had to move on from. So I love that definition of strength, that it's something that energizes you and something that you keep wanting to come back to. So
I love that too. That's so great. I've never heard that, and I love that definition. I'm going to start paying attention to the things that drain me and the things that energize me. That's so great. And I do think that you're a really good speaker, so I think you're spot on right there. with liking, to talk to people. And I wanted to share a quote that I just saw like last week from Gary Vaynerchuk. He said something, and I watched a video about it too that he posted, and it really changed it just kind of hit me so hard. And he said, don't dwell on your weaknesses. Everybody else is already doing that for you. And I was like, yes, so true. Like, everyone else is focusing on your flaws. Like, you don't need to do that either. And the thing is like Gary Vaynerchuk, he's like, I literally don't focus on my flaws at all. Like, he had to list some of his flaws, and he was like, I don't know. He's like, it's going to be kind of hard for me to list my flaws because he has almost buried them so deep because he just focuses on the things he's really good at, and he delegates the other things that he's not good at, or, he eliminates them. And that it was hard for him to find his weaknesses. And I feel like it's opposite with women. Like, we could list 20 weaknesses and maybe 2 strengths. And so I'm like, no, we need to focus on our strengths and really hone in on them and use those strengths for good. So that quote really hit me. So anyway, thank you for sharing that, Alexia. I love that. And thank you everyone for joining us. And for those of you that are watching us, we are, our team is actually, if you guys want to step it up a notch with loving yourself and just increasing your confidence, our team is hosting a Love Yourself Fitness Boot Camp, and it is starting this week with Prep Week, and then next Monday on August 29th, we'll be starting some workouts. And, like Megan said, exercising is huge to really increasing your confidence and just learning to love your body. We're also going to be doing weekly challenges each week, weekly confidence challenges with points and prizes and partners, just to help you to focus on just loving yourself. And so it's not going to be so much about, just working out to look good, but it's working out to feel good and feel better about yourself. And so I'm so pumped about this group. And we're also encouraging everyone in the group to read the book Pretty Happy by Kate Hudson. It's brand new. And it talks about loving yourself or loving your body. I think it's called, the subtitle is Healthy Ways to Love Your Body. So it's going to be an amazing group. We've got some fun things in store and some fun prizes as well. So if you are interested in something like this, reach out to whoever invited you to this webinar and talk to them. We are all health coaches, and we would love to help you increase your confidence and just feel good so that you can do good. So thanks you guys so much for joining us, and we hope you have a fabulous day and that you can implement some of these tips to increase your confidence. So have a good night. Bye, you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.